Alf, let's share with the people how we are looking at sports cards all wrong. What are we doing?
School's closed. It's a holiday, you dumbasses.
What's going on, sports card hobby family? Another day, another sports card video. We are back again. We are looking at sports cards completely wrong, or at least some of them. So we're going to talk through this a little bit. Before I dive in, huge thanks to Pristine Auction. Man, talk about all the goodness in one spot. 10-minute auctions, auctions on the hour, every day, week, monthly, all sorts of different types of auctions, not just sports cards, but all sorts of cool sports memorabilia, pop culture auctions. Everything is there. Everything is over at Pristine Auction. I've got a code down below to get you $10 off your first auction victory, so make sure to check out Pristine Auction. All right, guys, so I was just thinking about this. Actually, we were talking about this on Off-Centered last night on our live stream. Me, Neo, Flippin' Steve, and Michael Hamburger. Definitely check that out. That was a fun stream. Always good to catch up with those guys. We do it bi-weekly. And we were talking about a particular card, and it was 91 Proline Portraits Football. And this is the Jerry Rice version. So this is, of course, playing days. This is prime Jerry Rice, 1991. Of course, we got the Jerry Rice rookie card right here, 86 tops. But what's special about these Proline portrait cards is some of them were autographed. And the autographed ones that are legit, now be careful out there because there's people actually that went on and forged these, but there is an indented certified down here, little circle. That's how you can tell the difference, because unfortunately, as you can probably imagine, these look like TTM autographs through the mail. You know, like send the regular card, and you get back this, and people try to pass this off as the pack-pulled version. And this is going back in time to 1991, where there was not really many pack-pulled autographs. I would actually submit to you, are these the first pack-pulled football autographs? I think they might be. Now, with that said, a viewer sent me this card, 1991 Arena Holograms Barry Sanders. And I know what you're probably thinking, man, remember when holograms were all the rage? And this is a hologram Barry Sanders card. It's numbered to 2500 and it's signed on the back. On card, signed on the back. Really cool. And of course, early playing days, 1991. But the reason why I bring this up is because we are now in a world, and here's the Bruce Smith version, Bruce Smith, 91 Proline Portraits. Check it out. These are the ultimate 90s cards. I've got a write-up on here where the players write up kind of like what's going on with them during that time. These are great cards. Fun to open. And those autographs are sought after by football card collectors. All right, the reason why I bring this up and why I think this is an important kind of discussion to talk about. I love the new stuff just like everybody else. When we look at, the new world of you've got the base card and then you've got every color of the rainbow parallel, it does suck for the rainbow chasers, the people that are trying to complete the rainbows, that are trying to collect all the cards for that player. It's getting harder and harder to do that. And a lot of people just kind of giving up if you're trying to collect kind of like every single card from the set. But unfortunately, what's happened now is that card companies have really gotten pretty lazy as far as new inserts and, new parallels. It's kind of all the same thing. They're just throwing a different color. And it's a cherry blossom, it's a teal, prism or whatever it is. They've got all the different colors, but there's not really anything new with the design. And that's a lot of the reason why 90s inserts are so popular. The 90s insert cards, like the Dunkin' Donuts insert for basketball cards, there's a zillion of them. Not just the PMGs, but you just go down the line. Lots of different colorful, holographic, foil type cards that they did in the 90s. And part of the reason why those have become a lot more popular is because really, if you look at Ultra Modern, they have not really done anything on that front to kind of just make really cool inserts. I'm not saying that they're all bad, but what's the conversation today with new insert cards? What is it? It's kabooms and it's downtowns. Boring. Like, come on, that's all we've got. And frankly, when I look at them, I'm just not a fan. I think that they look kind of stupid, a lot of them. The ones that I do like, that my favorite maybe like insert parallel type cards are the stained glass that Prism did in 2017, 2018. I've got the 2018 Tom Brady stained glass. I like the stained glass cards. I feel like those are really nice looking insert cards, but it doesn't even scratch the surface, doesn't even compare to what you saw going back to the 90s. But when we think even of like junk wax era cards, you're thinking about 89 Pro Set, Barry Sanders and his Oak State, uni, and, Deion Sanders has got his Florida State stuff on. 89 score, they've got kind of their portrait photos. But if you dig enough, you can find cards like these where these are probably the earliest autographs, pack-pulled on-card autographs for these players. He actually wrote this out, Jerry Rice, not just kind of like the J. Rice. I think this is really cool, because people don't talk about it very much. And a lot of people don't hunt for them. When you think about junk wax, it's like, oh, we're collecting Tiffany baseball. For junk wax, I've got, for example, 87 Topps traded, the Maddox, the PSA 1010. These are fun to collect too. I don't want to take away from kind of these other things that people collect, but all I would say is there are these little kind of niche things out there that have maybe been forgotten in time a little bit, or just people getting back into the hobby, they didn't even know that they did these. I used to open up a lot of Proline portraits when I was a kid, and I never pulled an autograph for any of these cards. I would have remembered it. I never did. They were not easy to pull. It wasn't until I was an adult, started doing some digging on this. Of course, we had the internet that we can look everything up on, and found out, oh my God, there's actually pack-pulled autographs that came out of those boxes. They printed a zillion of it, and the cards by themselves are cool. But again, you go back, there are some kind of little hidden gems down back there in the early 90s as they were just starting to get autograph cards out there and game-used memorabilia cards and that sort of a thing. There is stuff out there, and the interesting thing is they're not mega expensive because frankly they're not getting the same sorts of hype how everyone has dove into the 90s insert stuff in the later 90s. Everyone's kind of, they want all the metal stuff, and that's really what they're focused on. But there are some hidden gems out there. So when we look at today's cards, it's just, man, there's not a lot of extra work being done to really come up with some cool design cards. I will give Fanatics Topps credit as far as coming up with unique kind of auto cards and sports memorabilia cards. The MLB debut cards are awesome. I mean, that's probably the best thing that Topps has done since they've arrived with Michael Rubin and his team, coming up with the MLB debuts. They got the patch, but even just how those cards look, they're on card, they're one of ones. I mean, they're sweet looking cards. So I get it. I get the demand for those types of cards. But as a whole, though, a lot of it is just base card, and then it's just every color of the rainbow parallel, and there's not really a whole lot else. So for collectors, again, we talk about how expensive new product is and what are our options. But you know what a lot of people say is, well, you know what? There's 100 plus years of cards that have already been made. Go dive into the singles market, do research, and see what you find. And I just wanted to show examples of cards that are they're not on IG pages. They're not going to be ones that you're going to see being flashed on a Golden auction. Ken Golden is not going to hold one up and say, what I am holding here is a 1991 Barry Sanders hologram. There's only 2,500 that were ever, you're not going to see it there, but there's a lot of little, alleyways of cards, different sets, different players that are not expensive. In comparison to what you have today to buy into new product, or even just singles of active players today that are out over the last 5 years. So I wanted to share that. Are we looking at cards? Are we looking at everything at our disposal? We've got the hype stuff that's always pushing our face right out of the gate. We've got the usual 90s insert stuff. We've got the usual vintage stuff that you see at card shows. But dig a little deeper. Dig a little deeper, do some research, join some different forums and things. There is a lot of cards, sets, unique stuff that is hanging out there in the galaxy. Let me know. Have you found anything like this? Any kind of these unique sets, cards that maybe just aren't talked about on a daily basis on the social media? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, my friends. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.